super sport, wet paint, big feet. I pull up and kill shit, 6 feet.
Alright, 6 feet going deep. It's Torius with
Crystal, aka Crysmarie.
Alright, Crystal, why don't you tell us about what you do?
I am a nurse. I don't know if anyone knows, if anyone follows me on Instagram. I've been a nurse for 6 years and I do makeup as well. I don't want to say I'm a makeup artist because it's more of a hobby.
You're more into it?
Oh, I love it. That's my passion. I love doing makeup. I love making people feel pretty, but it's a hobby. I don't look at it as work. I model here and there, but I don't want to say I'm a model either because I would never leave my day job for that.
So you're basically a nurse, but you reach out to
I'm
a
a
lot of
hustler.
other things.
I'm a hustler. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And not only that, but I love being a nurse, but I feel like you have to have like a creative side to keep you sane.
Really?
So like being a nurse, that's like my everyday. I love this. This is what I wake up to do. But I also need something on the side to just kind of keep me sane, you know, like
an outlet.
Yeah, because being a nurse is stressful. You have to be on your A game all the time, but doing makeup and modeling and taking pictures, all of that is kind of like an outlet to all that stress that I have to deal with on a daily.
Do you ever feel like you have like a lot of time to do it?
No, I'm literally, it sucks. Like when I schedule shoots or if I'm doing makeup, I am pressed for time all the time. So like I have my planner with my schedule. I work right now, today. I literally left work, got home, showered, drove here. So that's how my days are every day.
So it's like is it kind of like a repeat kind of thing?
I don't want to say repeat. It's just,
like
I'm
routine?
constant. It's not routine at all. It's just constant. Every day I'm doing something different. And in between all of that, I try to go to church. I try to work out. So I have to have my alone time, my spiritual time,
like a
my
balance of
creative
everything.
side. Yeah, it's trying to have balance, but where I'm doing all the things that I love. And then spending time with family, spending time with friends.
Yeah.
So I'm busy every day.
So you grew up in Miami, right?
Born and raised.
How was it like? What was your childhood like coming out of here?
I mean, I freaking love Miami. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't, but I love Miami. I tried to move up north when I finished high school, and it was not for me.
Really?
I literally got robbed gunpoint in the middle of the day for a cell phone.
For real?
Yeah. And literally, I mean, I've lived in the hood my whole life in Miami. Like, I lived in Alapata, Wynwood, and then now I live in Miami Gardens. So I've never lived in, like, a great area. And I'm like, damn, I've lived in the hood my whole life.
But
I go to somewhere
happened.
new. Nothing's ever happened. My neighbors are amazing. I can walk my dog at 1 a.m. You know, let me knock on. God forbid anything happens now. But for the most part, I've always felt safe.
It's funny because like a lot of people say that Miami people are really rude.
You know, I believe that. But when I went up north, I felt people were way more rude than down here.
Really?
Yes. I have family that lives in New York. And I went to Jersey. And I did not think the people there were nice at all. Like, I would ask for help for someone that works at, you know, the place that I'm asking for help. And they're like, oh, go look over there. And I'm like, you work
Really?
here. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't think Miami's necessarily rude. I just think Miami's just, like, more vain, superficial. Everyone's beautiful. The city's beautiful.
So it's like more everyone's into themselves, pretty much.
Yeah,
They're like self-centered.
I don't want to say self-centered because that doesn't sound nice. I don't want to stereotype Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I just think here people are just very aware of how they look and what they bring to the table, like money and cars and houses and how they dress. Like everyone's just very into that, and that's okay. That's just a culture of Miami.
Did you ever feel like it was a big melting pot, or do you feel like it's just like all Hispanics?
No, I think we have a mix. I mean, at least where I grew up, I've never lived in a predominant Hispanic area. I've always lived, you know, around. I was in the hood, so that's just what it is, you know.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh.
But I did travel nursing for about a year, and I went northern Florida maybe like 2 or 3 hours. There, I mean, I've never felt racism, you know, just because I've always lived around people that, you know, whether you're white, you're black, you're Hispanic, everyone got along. All the schools I've ever gone to have always been a big mix. So to go to somewhere where there's a predominant race, I mean, I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Because everyone's like more used to you.
No one was used to me. That was the problem.
I mean, here everyone's like used to everybody.
Yeah, and not only that, but like my I have family in New York, so I've been to New York plenty of times. I just feel like any big city is used to different races, different cultures. Where I went, it was maybe like 0.2% Hispanic. So everyone's looking at me like, who is this girl?
Did they think you were Mexican?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone thought I was Mexican. And my first day, they were asking me if I eat huevos rancheros every day for breakfast. And I'm
really?
I'm like, I like it, but I don't really eat that.
That's not your culture.
Not only that, but I was born here.
Yeah.
I was born in Miami. I'm American first before I'm Puerto Rican. And my mom was born in New York, so she's American. You know, so I don't... English is my first language. But people hear me speak and they're like, oh.
Do you speak good Spanish?
I mean, I speak it good enough. You know, better than I guess the average Puerto Rican.
Yeah, because I know a lot of Puerto Ricans that don't speak Spanish at all.
No, yeah. I speak Spanish. Sorry, guys, I'm sick. I do speak Spanish. In my job, I actually have to translate all the time because I'm like one of the only people that's there that is certified.
Bilingual?
Huh?
Like bilingual?
Yeah,
certified?
we have to get certified to translate.
So do you feel like that helps you out with Spanish, like learning more by like speaking it so much?
Like learning more Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. In my house, we only speak English. My mom only talks to me in Spanish when she's like pissed off, you know? So at work, I practice it more fluently and I learn how to say words that I would never say on a normal, you know?
When it comes to like, well, what kind of like nurse are you?
I work in recovery room and I also work in pre-op. So I kind of work in surgical services, OR, that area. Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep... I didn't want to reschedule as I felt bad because we had to reschedule last week. But I woke up so sick today.
Well, you're a trooper for coming out here sick.
I hope I don't get you sick. Drink emergency today.
No, that's what, like, that's my first aid. Like, once I feel like, you know, just a little bit, like, straight emergency.
Me too. I did that. I did, like, the emergency, the Zycam, echinacea. I do, like, my whole little mix because I actually hate taking medicine, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I know I'm a nurse, but I'm all about preventative healthcare. Like, that is my biggest thing. I want people, instead of just taking medicine to get better, find out what's the root problem. You know, if you have high blood pressure, why do you have high blood pressure? What are you eating? If you have diabetes, what are you eating? So I'm all about that, like eating good and working out.
It's like that. It's like that saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
So it's
Yo,
like,
so good. I've actually never heard that.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Now you're gonna start saying it.
Yo, next caption.
Right? No, but I think that's really important. But I was like getting at, you know, speaking Spanish in the medical field. There's a lot of like big terms and stuff like for sicknesses and stuff. So like, how do you know like what to say?
Some of them, I have to look up. But honestly, I think it helps having someone like me to talk to these patients because a lot of times they don't understand anything that the doctor's telling them.
Really?
So I can kind of dumb it down. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but realistically, like just say it in kind of like colloquial terms to where they're understanding it. The doctors, they're telling them something and they're speaking in medical terms, and the patients are just there like, and they don't want to ask questions because they don't want to look like they don't understand. Yeah. So I'm kind of there like, I'll say what he's saying
to like help them, and
I'll say kind of like put it to where in a language that they can understand, in a lingo that they understand. I have to translate, you know, exact, and then I'll go in and kind of explain it in a way that they understand. So I think it helps a lot. I'm trying to think. But it does help me too because I get to practice my Spanish. I think I speak it well enough to where I can have full conversations with people. But I wish it was like really proper. I don't think my Spanish is that proper.
Do you also help, like if the doctor has like really bad news for like the patient? Do you help like console them or like help to like break it to them easier? Like anything like that?
Technically, the doctor's the one that says it. You know, they're the ones that are supposed to tell them, you know, if it's like something like that where like a prognosis is poor or someone's passing away, things like that, the doctor has to say. But I think that's what separates being a nurse and being the doctor. The doctor is there for the medical, to diagnose, all that stuff, but we're there to care for the patient. Not only the patient, but their families. The doctor, a lot of the times, they're busy. They have a lot of patients. So they're not going to sit there and hug a patient, you know? So where I kind of like step in is, and I also do think that culture is a big part of that. I mean, I'm Hispanic. We're all about hugging, kissing.
Yeah,
you know?
like a lot of contact.
Yeah, you know, cariciando. Like that's just, it's our natural being. So when people are going through hard times, I feel like because I'm like that, people can relate to me more, and people feel like
they can come to you.
They can come to me, and they feel like somebody actually cares about them, cares about their family, what they're going through. Because it's easy to teach a technique. I can teach you how to put an IV in. I could teach you how to take a blood pressure, but I can't teach you how to be compassionate. You can't teach that.
It's like something that's already there.
Exactly. So you can't teach.
My eyes keep tearing up.
But it's okay. I'm on the same boat, so don't worry. So yeah, like I can sit here and teach you how to read a monitor, how to interpret labs, but I cannot teach you to be passionate, to care,
like
to love. You cannot teach that.
Like the emotions, right?
Exactly. That's something that comes naturally. And I think that nurses, well, at least, really good nurses, that's what they portray. Instead of just, just the technical of it, which yes, is important. You need to know what you're doing, but also have that extra step where you're actually showing love and showing care to the patients that you're taking care of, and empathy to these patients.
Do you feel like you learned that in nursing school?
No, again, that's what I'm telling you. I don't think anyone can teach that. I think people that go into nursing, I try to explain that to them. Because at the end of the day, yes, school's going to teach you all the book stuff. It's going to teach you what's diabetes, what meds patients on diabetes, what to look out for, blah, blah, blah. But that extra step where people feel a connection, where people feel like, man, I was actually cared for. You can't teach that. I don't think nursing school teaches that. I don't think anything teaches that. I think that's just the person that you are.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of like nurture how you were brought up. I think how you're brought up is a big factor in that as well.
No, of course. So as a kid, you told me like you said you were like a nerd, right?
I was a nerd.
So were you always getting like good grades, or were you just like
straight A's? I got picked on all the time.
Really?
Yeah. My parents were extremely strict. My parents are young. Well, my dad passed away. Rest in peace, Dad. But I'm saying, like, growing up, my parents were young. My parents had me when they were 19.
Were you close to them?
I was extremely close to them. But considering they were so young, they were also very old school. So my dad was hardcore.
Especially they're Hispanic, so.
Oh my God. So like my mom was strict with grades and schoolwork, and then my dad was strict with everything else. So with school, I mean, I had big teeth, which I still have, but I guess my head kind of grew into them. I had a mustache. I had a unibrow, and I have freckles. So I got made fun of so much.
Really?
I mean, about everything. And then I look at it now, I'm like, man, people draw on freckles and they draw on eyebrows.
Right.
But growing up, man, when I was in 4th grade, I got hit by a car. So I had to start school late. I got called Crippled Crystal for I don't know how long.
You had like what is it, I
had crutches.
The crutches.
And a cast on my leg and a cast on my arm because I broke my arm on my leg.
Really? When I was in school, that was cool. Like you were cool if you broke your leg. Or
no,
like
I was not cool.
If you had crutches.
And I was like in all gifted classes and AP classes, so I was definitely not cool. And then the mustache and the unibrow,
How did you get how did you get over like all the bullying and everything?
I don't know. I think eventually, I guess I got kind of cute. I don't know.
You started getting more attention?
I started getting attention like in high school, but it took a while. But I think just being nice to other people kind of helped me realize it doesn't matter if people bully you. I don't want to change who I am just because people around me suck. There's a lot of bad people in this world, but just because people are doing the wrong thing doesn't mean you have to.
Were you aware of how you looked and everything, or
in what sense? Like
were you aware about the things that they were
making fun of? Yeah. Oh, of course.
And
oh my gosh.
Did you have like insecurities about it?
Of course. I'm still insecure to this day. It's my biggest struggle, and that's why I don't know if you see like on my posts, I try to be as positive and transparent with people. I'm so sorry, guys, because I don't want to be just another pretty girl on Instagram. You know, post pretty pictures, and I don't want girls to ever look at my page and compare their lives to mine, or compare their looks to mine, or compare their body. I don't want that, because I know that growing up, I definitely never felt like I was the prettiest girl in school, nothing like that. And yes, I was definitely aware of the things these people were making fun of, but my parents were so strict. They did not let me wax my mustache. They didn't let me wax my unibrow.
Really? Not even?
No. Not until I was like in middle school.
So what would you like sneak it and then they would
No,
see?
not even. I was so scared of my parents, I didn't even do it.
Wow.
That's how good I was. I mean, when I was little, I was like a little goody two shoes. I never wanted to get in trouble. But yeah, no, my parents, maybe till like 7th grade, they finally let me do it. And I had like hairy arms, and they only let me shave into my knees. So I had a hairy thigh. It was
Were
bad.
you wearing a lot of shorts?
Well, we had uniforms, so we had to wear like those little skirts and stuff, like those half skirts, half shorts. Man, so I had a hairy thigh, and
because usually in like elementary school, they don't really care about that stuff too much.
Oh,
but then
no.
like once you hit middle school, that's when they start like for some reason they just start all noticing
Oh my
and
gosh,
start saying stuff about it.
it was so bad, man. I would come home crying, and it was funny because like the same guys that would make fun of me in middle school, then in high school were like, "Hey,
They're trying to get
what's
at you.
up?" And I'm like, "You made me cry every day in 6th grade."
Wow. What was like the fashions and stuff when you were in high school?
When I was in high school, I wore Pepe jeans. I don't know if you remember that brand, but it was like,
Nah.
it was like it was expensive. They used to sell it like at Cool J's. Have you ever been to there? No? Oh my gosh.
Is that in like North Miami?
There's one in North Miami. There's one on the beach. But it's like a Simons, kind of say. Like a sportswear, kind of like urban.
Yeah.
So I used to wear like Gerbold, Lot 29. I'm trying to think of other brands. Eniche, Fat Farm, Echo.
Oh, yeah.
That was like, if you had that in Jordans, you were popping.
Really?
Yeah. So I used to dress nice. I've always dressed nice. Fresh new J's every weekend.
That's so different from when I was in high school.
I know. Well, I'm almost 30. So I'm a little older, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I would wear my dope set and then have my big book bag with all my books. Or my roller book bag.
So that's when everyone started like changing their minds about you and everything.
Yeah, it was funny because probably my senior year, because at 9th and 10th grade, I was still pretty to myself. I would sit on the stairs to eat lunch by myself.
Really?
Or I would sit in the cafeteria with like the special ed kids.
Really? But did you have a lot of friends?
No, not in like 9th and 10th grade. I probably didn't get a lot of friends till senior year. And that's because at the time, my ex-boyfriend, his sister was popular. And to this day, we're still friends. I love you, Mels. He like pushed me like, hey, like meet people. Like don't sit in the stairs anymore by yourself. Because I would literally sit in the stairs by myself and eat lunch. He's like, go chill with my sister. And she was kind of popular. So I would sit with her, and then I became friends with her and all her friends. And senior year was like literally one of my greatest memories. We used to have so much fun. Drive to house parties until they got raided.
That's when you feel like you got out of your shell.
A little bit more. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I probably didn't get out of my shell until this year.
Really?
Yeah. I was super self-conscious and I always felt like I was never good enough. I don't know for what or to whose standards, but to myself. I would look at myself and just think like, oh, you don't deserve this, Crystal, or I don't know, you're lame, or you're fat, or I don't know.
Do you still feel like that?
Sometimes, but not often. Not as much as before. Now I'm just like, wow, Crystal, like I pep talk myself like, yo, you're nice.
You deserve it.
You work hard.
You deserve what you get.
Yeah, like what what is it that you think you don't deserve, or why is it that you think that you're not good enough? And oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I hate coughing throughout this interview. It sucks. Now I'm just like, yo, if you don't love yourself, how can you love other people? And that's my biggest goal this year is, well, in general, just long-term wise, I want to love people. I want to inspire people.
You know, it's kind of weird. I've always thought that, right? But then, like, because I've always loved a lot more people than I've actually loved myself. But then, like, when I started loving myself more than everyone else, I got really selfish.
Really?
Yeah, I started, like, not really caring about a lot of other people.
See, for me, it's been opposite. For me, I've always been super considerate. Like, that's one of my biggest problems is I would give and give and give and give and give, and then nothing in return for myself. But this year, I think, like, when you have like that self-love, I feel like that energy it translates to people, and people see that and they want to be around you.
Yeah, I think it is the energy,
And
because
it's a big difference. If you're constantly saying like, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, nobody wants to be around that.
yeah,
Not only that, but if you can't love yourself, if you cannot fully love everything that you are, first, how can you let somebody else love you? And how can you love other people if you can't start from you?
do you have friends that are like that, or they're like kind of downers, or are your friends like really preppy?
I do, and if my best friend's listening to this, or if she does ever listen to this, she knows how much I push her. I love her so much, and I try, because me and her were like the same. And I told her, like, look, this year I'm all about being positive. I'm all about loving myself, all about just helping myself to help others. Because if I'm not inspired, if I'm not motivated, if I'm not in a good mood, how can I sit here and preach it to other people?
Yeah.
So I'm constantly pushing her because I want her to love herself too, you know. Have you heard that, like, read that quote that says, if they ask you to name all the things you love, how long would it take to name yourself? And I read that quote and I'm just like, it like really resonates with me. I'm like, yo.
I haven't heard it, but it just resonated with me right now.
It's so good. It's beautiful because it's true. Like, I know, like, if I was first asked that question maybe a few months ago, I would say, you know, God, my parents, my mom, this, that. And then it's like, yo, but do I love me?
Yeah.
Do I love the person that I am? And
like, when are you going to name that?
And that's,
name yourself.
This year, that has been like the ultimate goal for me, is to stop putting myself down. And in turn, I help push others up too. I help inspire other people. And that's what I want to do.
Do you feel like that's why you became a nurse, to help other people?
Oh, most definitely. But that was even before. I've wanted to help people since my dad got sick when I was in high school. And we basically lived in the hospital my freshman year and sophomore year.
Really?
Yeah. My dad was always sick, and we were in and out the hospital for 4 years. For 4 years, he would stay there for 2 weeks, come home for a day, go back.
What did he have?
Congestive heart failure. He also had colon cancer, diabetes. He ended up dying from the heart failure. I think he had, I want to say, like 9 heart attacks before he passed away.
Really?
Yeah.
What was he eating, like, really healthy, or was he eating on?
No, he ate
unhealthy?
terrible. He ate terrible. He drank a lot. He smoked. He did everything that you shouldn't do. So that's why I'm so big on those things.
Like, it helps motivate you.
Oh, for sure. That's why me and my younger brother, we're active. We eat healthy. At least we try. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love sweets. But I don't have sweets every day. You know, it's finding a balance. And I know that during the week, I work out, you know, at least 3 to 4 times a week, you know, just to stay active. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the diseases that we have come from our lifestyle and how we eat. So for my dad, he was very heavy. We eat fried food and arroz con habichuela, you know, like...
Yeah, all that Spanish food.
All that Spanish food and fried pork chops.
Do you feel like you can also get sick by your thoughts? By, like, the way that you're thinking?
For sure. I don't necessarily think you can get, like, a heart disease, but do I think mental illness is a big thing? Yes. So I do think you constantly putting yourself down, you're going to have anxiety. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be unmotivated. And in turn, you might eat badly, or you might not exercise. Because that happens to me. There's a few days that go by and I'm sad, or I feel depressed, and I don't want to do anything. So I think that if you're constantly in that feeling, then yeah, you're not gonna want to go to the gym. You're not gonna want to study. You're not gonna want to eat healthy. You're gonna want to sit on your
because I always heard that there's 2 types of people: the people that they feel that way, and then they do something about it. Like, that doesn't include drugs. They just, like, get up and go and do what they gotta do, even though they're feeling that way. And the people who just, like, stay in bed and just, like, complain and blame everyone else for the way they're feeling.
I'm that first person. I can be sad. I can be heartbroken. I can be sick. And I don't let it overpower me. I don't let it defeat me. And it's funny because I've been wanting to talk about that lately. Nobody's happy-go-lucky every day of their life. Nobody's motivated every day of their life. But not letting it defeat you is a whole different story. So for me, like today, I feel terrible. I'm sick. But I get up, I drink my medicine, I drink orange juice, I eat a good breakfast, and I get it done. And that's it. I don't let... Sorry, guys. I don't let there be an option for me. So as long as there's no other option in my mind, I don't even think about, oh, you know what? I should have canceled the interview. Or, oh, what? Let me call out of work. No. So that's a whole different mindset.
I feel like if we did the interview when we were supposed to, it would have been a lot worse, because it would have been like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm pretty sure we would have both been, like, really tired.
Oh, I'm wide awake at night, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a night person. I'm not a morning person at all. I mean, in the morning, I just have a lot of coffee.
Do you work in the mornings or more at night?
My shifts change. I work anywhere from 6 a.m. To 6:30, or I can work 7 to 7, 9 to 9, 11 to 11. It just depends. My job, our hours are more flexible because we go based off how busy the OR is. So it's a little more flexible. Majority of nurses work 7 a.m. to 7 p. or 7 p. to 7 a.m. But ours is a little different. I like that because I don't want to go in every day at 7. Sometimes I like coming in, like tomorrow I go in at 11, which is cool because I can kind of sleep in a little bit.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have like, if you go in the morning, you have the rest of the day off, or is it just like staying asleep?
No, because even if I go in at 7, I don't get off until 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So you're there the entire day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long day, you know? It's not like you go in at 7 and you're out by 2.
So on those days that you do, like you said, you like you rush everything when you're like doing the like pictures and doing
My
makeup.
days off are like, let's just say if I have Monday, I had a day off. What did I do? I wake up, I do fasted cardio, I go to the gym, then I had a photo shoot, was there for a few hours. Then I had to have dinner with my mom because, you know, she's important too. Then I had to have dinner with my tattoo artist because talking business. Come back home to go to bed to be up at work the next day at 5 a.m.
Yeah, so, one of my questions was like, how are you seen like as a nurse with tattoos? Like, how did the patients see you and like other your coworkers? Like,
my coworkers, they don't care. They love me. I hate this that I'm sick. Patients, it's hit or miss, honestly. Majority of my honestly, not even. I want to say like 95% of my patients always like my tattoos.
Really?
They're always like, "Oh my God, that's beautiful. Let me see it." They grab my arm without even asking me. "Oh my God, let me see it." And then there is that, you know, one or two. "Oh, well, why did you get that? You know,
really?
You're a woman. That's so ugly." Blah blah. You know, and that's
are they
okay.
like the older people?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't care because at the end of the day, as long as you treat them good, they still end up liking you. You know, you know what you're doing, and it's funny because we have to do callbacks and we do surveys, and every time they mention me, they're like, "Oh, we don't remember her name, but it was a cute little Spanish girl with tattoos." Because I'm like one of the only nurses in my job that has, you know, that looks like
a full sleeve.
Nobody, and then the other people that do are all men.
Oh yeah.
So there's not that many women in my job that are full sleeves. At work where I work now, I've been there for 5 years. They're super cool with it. They don't tell me anything. I've never had to cover them. But obviously I didn't go into the interview looking like this, you know. Went into the interview with a long sleeve shirt, button up, you know.
Because I work in a tattoo shop, and a lot of girls, they just like they get them like here or like somewhere on their body because their job doesn't really want them having tattoos.
I mean, I have worked at places that don't let me show them. Like when I did my travel, I had to wear a long sleeve all the time. But that's okay. That doesn't bother me. As long as like, you know, I come in and I still do my job, they can't sit here and judge me, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go into the interview wearing a shirt like this so that they can look at me and their first thoughts are gonna be bad.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why I tell people, if you have visible tattoos, that's fine. But don't go into your job interview wearing a short sleeve shirt. Wear a long sleeve shirt.
Let them find that out later.
Let them find it out later. Because if they hire you, they can't fire you because you have a tattoo. But you do have to follow your wherever job you work. You have to follow their
protocol.
Policies. Yeah, I worked before I was a nurse. I used to work at Cheesecake Factory. I was a waitress. You couldn't show tattoos. You couldn't show your piercings. So I used to wear like a little tiny Band-Aid. My gauges, I used to have to wear plugs. I couldn't wear tunnels.
You would wear a Band-Aid every day?
A little tiny one, because I didn't wear this one. I used to wear like a little diamond. So they didn't get mad at that, but I couldn't wear this one.
Yeah.
I don't wear this one at work. And then like my gauges, I had to wear plugs. I couldn't wear tunnels. So it's just, you have to look at your you know, the policies. If the policies say you gotta cover them, you gotta cover them. It is what it is, you know. When you get a tattoo, you kind of have to go in knowing that it might be a problem.
Yeah.
So don't get, like, at least for me, I mean, if it was up to me, I would have like a neck tat.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, would you get a face tat?
I wish, but unfortunately, I can't cover that. So at least with my, like, I'm probably gonna get another full sleeve. Probably gonna sleeve up my legs.
What if you get like a face tat right here, but then like you just wear a headband or something? Or like
nah, that's like too much work for me. That I would have to do that every day, wear a headband. No. So I wouldn't get anything that I couldn't cover with a shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever get famous one day and I don't have to work in the hospital, then yeah, I probably would.
You'll get as tight as you want.
Get a huge neck. I would love to have like a neck tat, but.
What would you get?
I don't know. Maybe an owl or something. I don't know.
No.
Something basic.
So when you're working at Cheesecake Factory, was it while you were in school?
Yes. While I was in school and when I finished, it actually took me a few months to find a job when I first graduated nursing school. It fluctuates. Sometimes they're in crazy need for nurses, and then sometimes nobody wants to hire new grads. So when I graduated 6 years ago, 2012, nobody wanted to hire new grads. It took me, I think, like 5 months to find a job. So
Really?
while I was in school, I was a waitress, and then a little bit after.
Did your school help you find a job?
No.
Really?
I had a scholarship where they were supposed to give us a job after, but I guess they didn't have enough jobs for us either, so they made us opt out of the contract.
Oh, wow. But, I mean, they still pay for your school, right?
They still paid for my school, yes. Well, half of it. I went to a private school, unfortunately, so.
Do you feel like was school a very stressful part of your life?
Oh, definitely, but I think being a nurse is way more stressful than school.
Really?
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, if you're struggling in nursing school, that's
It's not.
nothing. It's cake.
Oh, wow.
Nursing school's hard, man. Being in school's hard. I worked full time at nursing school, and I partied on the weekends.
Oh, my God.
So I still had a life, and I still passed. I never failed a class. I passed my exam the first time taking it. So it's possible. You gotta study.
No, yeah.
If you don't study, you're not gonna pass. That's just what it is. Unless you're a genius and can retain information.
What was like some stuff that you missed out on while you were studying or going to school or working?
I want to say I missed out on being creative at that time. I didn't start kind of like doing makeup or modeling or doing any of those things until recently, maybe like the past 2 years. And mind you, I graduated years ago. So I think I could have
Like got more into it?
Yeah, like I could have gotten more into it at a younger age, and that would have been cool. I was not into fitness at that time, so I think I could have gone, into fitness at a younger age, and I think that would have made a difference. But when I was younger, I feel like it wasn't such a big thing because social media wasn't such a big thing.
Yeah.
Like when I was 21, social media was not.
Models were just like like
In
Victoria's
magazines,
Secret, yeah,
exactly,
magazines and stuff.
not on Instagram. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I don't want to. I would never consider myself one, but I'm saying like I never even tried to be creative or do anything artsy or anything. When I was in high school and when I was all throughout my grade school, I used to act and dance, and I just stopped because it was like, oh, you finish high school, you can't act anymore, and I wish I would have.
Did you ever want to like just move to LA and just become an actress?
That would be awesome. Because I loved that. All from kindergarten to freaking 12th grade, I acted. I was always in drama. I was always in every play in school. I was in the like morning announcements. Like I always loved that. And I didn't pursue it because I just felt like I had to just get a normal job, And I didn't really have the support from my family in that sense.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was mostly your parents that...
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. My parents they were amazing. They taught us to be, like, a majority of why I'm so kind and why I am the way I am is because of the way my parents taught me. But in that sense, it was kind of like, yo, you need to make money. Like, you need to get a normal job. That's not a real job. So I think that kind of just pushed me to like, oh, I had to go straight to school, straight out of high school. And I couldn't really like think about what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a nurse only because of my dad. My dad was sick in the hospital when I was in high school. And he would tell me, he's like, I could tell who's here because they want to be here. And I can tell who's here because this is just their job. And I was just, to me, it was powerful when he said that because I'm like, damn, like it's true. Like you come into work and mind you, these are the people that are here with you when your family can't be. So you want to feel like you're being treated like family, if that makes any sense. Because obviously,
like they actually care about you.
Yeah, my mom worked and we were in school, so we couldn't be with him all day. So the nurses, the doctors, anyone that's part of it. Oh my god, this is driving me nuts.
If I knew, I would have like brought soup or something.
You're so sweet. I'm probably gonna get soup as soon as I leave because I didn't even eat. I literally got home and rushed.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay though. I don't care. I'm not that hungry.
Do you eat like 6 times a day?
No. Hence why I'll never be a fitness model. I will never be fit. Honestly, I work out just because your girl eats a lot. I eat a lot. Yeah.
So you gotta like offset.
I gotta
it.
just like balance it. I always feel bad when girls are like, they DM me, they're like, oh, can you like send us your workouts? And I'm just like, don't trust my advice. Like, I'm not that good. Like, I only work out because I don't want to be fat.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. I was like, damn, you know, she's like perfect to get like a meal plan or like a workout plan, like everything.
No, I love it. I'm passionate about working out because it makes me feel good as a person. Like, it makes me feel less self-conscious. It makes me have a higher self-esteem. Like, I'm just like, damn, boy, you popping, you know?
Were you like, how did you get into fitness? Were you like reading forums and stuff and watching videos on fitness, or did you just go into the gym and just like do?
Well, I started wanting to work out probably like a little bit after my dad died, but I just didn't know how to do it. You know, I was active in high school. I played soccer, but once like I kind of saw like a trend in my family, like everyone is kind of short, everyone's kind of overweight, everyone has high blood pressure, everyone has diabetes. I'm like, I need to do something. And then once I went to school and started to learn more, when you know more, you kind of freak out more, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
Like, because I know a lot, I'm just like,
because that ignorance leaves, so you're just like, what the fuck is this world? Like,
you freak out about everything. I'm like, oh my god, I have a headache. Do I have a brain tumor? Oh my god. You know, like,
yeah, like when you look up WebMD.
no, I don't do WebMD. That's you know, that's silliness. But it's because I know that you can die from certain things, or I know that you can get sick from certain things. So I'm just very cautious. Obviously, I'm not perfect. So I eat probably 80% good, 20% bad, maybe 85% good. So it's all balanced, but I don't let myself, like, my grandparents cook and
just like weekend stuff. It's just like,
not even, honestly. On the weekends I try to eat good too. It's just balanced. Like today, what did I have for breakfast? I had protein pancakes and egg whites. Amazing. Lunch, I had chicken, quinoa, and some veggies. That's all I've had today.
Do you have like any companies reach out to you like for endorsements or like affiliates?
I do, but right now I don't want to just get involved with any company. I only want to work with companies that I truly believe in, just because I feel like the people that do follow me trust my advice. And I want it to be legit. I want it to be genuine. So
do you trust Fit Tummy Teas?
No. I mean, I've never been hit up by them, but I've actually never tried that tea. I drink tea when I'm sick. I don't really drink tea to lose weight.
What about like those, like the Instagram models who do endorse that stuff?
I have nothing against it. I mean, you do what you gotta do to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has their own hustle. But because I make money being a nurse, I don't feel like I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm trying to make more money, but I don't want to do it in a way that it how do you say that? It lowers the quality of what I'm bringing out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
I'm not going to just sit here and put on a waist trainer and say, hey guys, buy this waist trainer. No, because there's no purpose in that.
You don't actually believe in it.
Yeah. So if I rep any company on my page, it's because I am for that company. I believe in what they stand for, and I legit like what they have. So like, even for like, people are always constantly like, yo, shout out. And I'm just like, I don't like it. At the end of the day, I don't like them on other pages. Literally, when I'm looking at stories and all it is
they
follow this, follow that, I'm skipping through that. I'm not interested in that. I want to see things that stimulate me, that stimulate my brain, stimulate my heart. You know, I'm looking at a girl in a thong saying, follow so-and-so for this. I mean, to me, that's not interesting. You know, I get it. To each their own. I have nothing against people that do that. Yo, do you, boo? If it works for you, continue it, you know? But the purpose of my page, at least, what I want to bring to my page is growth.
Like, it's an extension of yourself. So it's like whatever's there is just you. Yes,
and I want growth. I want people to grow, whether it's in fitness, whether it's in nursing school, whether it's just in themselves. Like, it, how do you say it? Like, just having at least for me, I try to be more mindful just of what I'm putting out. There's no purpose if my page has a bunch of followers, if I get a bunch of likes, if I'm not making an impact.
Yeah.
So if I'm not making a difference in someone's life, then what's the purpose of my page?
So do you feel like your Instagram has been helping people?
I mean, I hope it is. I mean, I get messages from people and they're constantly telling me that I inspire them, and that literally makes my day. I can't even tell you. If I can make someone feel better about themselves, one person, that's it. Like, my goal is accomplished. Like, I feel happy. you know, and I want other people to do that. Yo, Instagram is such a big platform. Why not use that platform to build each other up instead of being
Like breaking each other down.
Breaking each other down and competing?
Because I was gonna ask if there's like any annoying people on Instagram.
No, I mean, I would never say it because I don't like to talk badly about anyone. I mean, there are pages that I don't prefer. I'm not gonna lie, I probably follow a few people that I'm just like, nah, why do I follow this person? But again, everyone's different, you know, and just because I don't like it doesn't mean somebody else doesn't like it. And that's why, like, I'm not gonna sit here and judge the next person that's doing something that I might not agree with, because it works for them, and what works for me is not for everyone. Not everyone likes to write long captions and be all deep. That's okay.
So when you do write those captions, do you like have them saved already, or do you write them like straight onto the Instagram?
Majority of the time, it's at the moment. It's at the moment. I try to, like, if I see stuff that I'm inspired by, I'll screenshot. Okay, I'm gonna use this as kind of like a start to my caption or whatever, or something like that. Like yesterday, I had posted something, or not yesterday, the day before. I had saw a quote that said, you know, don't let social media make you feel less of yourself or make you feel like you gotta hurry up or rush because nobody's out here posting their failures. So I used that and kind of branched off to how I like to kind of relate it to me. At the end of the day, people are gonna relate more to your weaknesses than your strengths. You know, people are gonna be more drawn to you when you're transparent, when you're real about things. When you
show your vulnerable side.
Yeah, when you're real about things. Like, yo, I was honest about, like, in school, because people ask me all the time, you know, how did you study? I did not get straight A's in nursing school. I can sit here and lie and say I did, but I didn't. I didn't get straight A's. I worked full time. I slept in class. But
it's like what you wanted to do, so it's like
it was what I wanted to do. So I did not sleep for 2 years. For 2 years, I did not sleep. I slept maybe like 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. I would go to school, then go straight to work, come home, study till like 3 a.m.
Do you feel like it was more important to sleep or to study?
I mean,
because a lot of people say, like, you know, it's better to like just cram.
It's probably better to sleep, but you know, at that time I was younger. I was like, well, I graduated when I was 22, so you know, I was young. I didn't sleep. I mean, now I would tell people you should definitely sleep because I'm almost 30, and when I don't sleep, I don't sleep anyways either now.
That catches up to you.
It catches up to you, man, and you feel miserable. I do not promote cramming, even though that's what I did. I don't promote that because that's only effective at the moment. And if you're gonna learn something, learn it for life. Don't learn it just to take a test and pass. Learn it for life.
But do you feel like with school, you were just learning for the test, or were you actually like actively going into it, like, oh, you know what, this is really interesting, I want to learn this?
Both. Both. I mean, there were times like for like psych. I'm not a fan of psych, so that was like cramming for me, you know, because I was just at the moment I wasn't my heart wasn't in that semester. But when it comes to like cardiac and like I love my little old people, you know, like I love geriatrics. So you're gonna, at least what nursing was so cool about it is that there's so many different areas to work in. You'll find what you're passionate about. So like where I'm at now, I love recovery. Am I gonna stay there forever? No, but I do love it. So like I train new nurses, I train, you know, new people in our department, and they tell me like, oh, you're a really good preceptor, you're a really good teacher, and they're like, oh, you should go into education, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Is that what you want? Is what you're doing now what you wanted to do when you first started nursing school? Like, is that what you had in mind?
No. When I was in nursing school, I wanted to work in a cancer floor because that's where I volunteered, and it really changes your perspective on life. You know, you're around patients that are young. I mean, you have obviously older ones too, but a lot of young people, and they are fighting to live, and they are grateful for the simplest things. And I'll be here complaining about a pimple, you know. I'm here so miserable because I have a pimple, and this 25-year-old next to me is dying of cancer, you know. So it just makes you appreciate life. It makes you appreciate simple things. It makes you appreciate family, your friends, all these things that we take for granted on a daily basis. So I loved that floor for that reason, but it also made me extremely sad because patients died all the time. and they used to make me do the post-mortem care, which is like what you do after the patient has passed. So I mean, I cried a lot when I was there.
Did you feel like really stressed? Was it really stressful?
Not as I mean, stressed because obviously I was volunteering at the time and I was in school, so I wanted to do the right thing and I wanted to look like I knew what I was doing and not be a baby, but I cried every time. So they some of the doctors weren't too happy with me, but.
Do you feel like it hardened you more, or do you feel like it made you more sympathetic?
I think it made me more sympathetic. I mean, it hardened me in the sense where, yes, I do not cry every time something bad happens.
Like you can take it.
I can hold it in. But do I still feel? 100%. Now I just know how to, control my tears.
What about working as a nurse, and how does that affect your family life?
I'm always tired. So I mean, I don't have kids yet. I hope to have kids one day, but I don't have kids yet, so I don't know how it would affect in that sense. But in like how I am now, I don't have too much time for my family. I work holidays, so.
I mean, are you like more health conscious with them?
Oh, 100%. 100%. They get annoyed by me because I'm always nagging them about something. Yeah. Like my grandpa will be eating a bagel and a honey bun, and I'm like, why are you eating this?
Like,
and I try to make
some vegetables.
Yeah, no. They get annoyed at me, because they know that I'm only telling them because I have their good intention at heart. I want them to be healthy. I want them to feel better. And
so they're around, in the future.
No, they're set in their ways. They don't change. I try to get them to eat quinoa. They wasn't having it.
I don't like quinoa. That's like my least favorite.
I love it because we eat rice a lot, and
I feel like it's eating sand.
No, dude, I need to make it then for you because you haven't had good quinoa. Or have you ever tried couscous or like cauliflower rice?
I've tried couscous, but I've never tried cauliflower rice.
Cauliflower rice is the funk, yo. It's really? So good. It's so good. It's less calories, less cholesterol, less everything. So why not? Try that. Try that. I promise you. When you try it, you gotta tell me like, yo, this is bomb.
I tried to, because I was trying to eat healthier, so I was eating, like I was forcing myself to eat quinoa, but it's just like I just don't like the texture. It's like feels so weird.
The texture is a little funky, but I'm like the least pickiest person in the world because of my strict parents. My parents, there was no, you don't like this. You have to eat everything on your plate.
Did you ever have to like stay at the table all night long just because you didn't eat anything?
And if you didn't eat it, if eventually my dad was like, all right, you know what, fine, go to your room. You don't eat for the rest of the day. You stay in your room. So it's either you can sit at the table and look at your food, or you can go to your room and just be miserable in your room.
Would your mom like come and like here have this? Really?
Nope.
Oh, they were both in on it?
They were both. No. My parents were so strict about food because it's, again, one of those things, like, we didn't have money growing up. So to them, it's like, yo, you're wasting money and you're wasting food. Like, there are people that don't have food and you're here being picky.
Yeah.
So being picky was not an option in my house. It was be picky and not eat. So we chose to eat.
Did you have a lot of pets growing up?
No, I had one dog, rest in peace. And then I have my dog now that I've had. I just had one dog for 9 years, and then I have my dog now, and he's 9 too.
He's 9 years old?
Mm-hmm. It makes me so sad.
Yeah, it's old.
Stop. I love him so much. I've had him since he was 6 weeks old.
Oh, really? Like, that's a puppy, right? Or is it, that's a pup, like in dog years?
I've had him since he was 6 weeks old, yeah.
Oh,
he was a baby. And I have him now, he's 9 years old.
What kind of dog is it?
A Yorkie. He's the grouchiest, meanest little dog in the world, but I love him.
They stay really small, right?
I don't have a toy Yorkie. I have a normal, regular. I got him from a shelter. Yeah, I'm not about breeding. There's so many dogs in the shelter that need to get adopted.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, are you about shelters, or are you about like pet shops and stuff?
No, shelters, adopt people, adopt. I know people want like fancy dogs, and I get it. I love Frenchies and I love, pit bulls and all these things, but why am I gonna spend $6,000 on a dog when there's a dog you can get in a shelter for like $100?
But what's like the benefits of getting a shelter dog?
They live, because if not, they kill them. They kill them. So there's there's tons of dogs in a shelter that have either been abused or just neglected, that they eventually euthanize them after a few days. If not, there are some shelters that don't kill them, but then they just stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like in a cage.
Have you ever thought of being a veterinarian?
That's what I originally wanted to do. That was my dream job growing up. Before I wanted to be a nurse, I always wanted to be a vet, because I love animals. But then My dad got sick, and it kind of just shifted
to humans.
Not only that, but vet school is extremely expensive. It's harder to get into because there's I think I want to say there's only like 26 in the whole United States. Don't quote me, guys.
26 schools. Oh wow.
So it's not a lot. There's a nursing school in every corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to get into, and you don't start off making a lot of money. So it was kind of one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna be in school for 8 years and make this much, or I'm gonna be in school for 4 years and make this much. So I kind of had to go with the route where I was making more money at the time, again, because I didn't have the resources when I was younger. Which is why I hope when I have kids, I have money, because I don't want them to ever feel like they can't pursue something because we don't have the money.
Do you feel like you'll be a strict parent?
Yes, most definitely.
Really?
Yes, because I think a lot of who I am today is because of how strict my parents were. Don't get me wrong, growing up, I didn't really like them that much because I could never sleep over anyone's house. I could never stay out late, but I appreciate the woman that I am today, and all of that is from that.
Because I always think that strict parents make rebellious kids.
Yes and no. I think you have to have a certain, there has to be like a thin line of balance. I think sometimes my parents were a little too much. Like my dad, literally, I had to wear shorts under everything. He would, make sure my skirts were, a certain length, and it was a little. I didn't wear a bathing suit till I was 18.
What did you go in the pool with?
A tank top and shorts.
Really?
See, that to me is a little much. That's why I think it's one of the reasons why I'm so self-conscious now, because growing up, my dad was so strict about that. Like legit, I would wear a bathing suit, and then with a tank top and shorts on top. That's how I used to go to the pool and the beach.
How do you feel Instagram has changed your self-confidence and working out as well? Do you feel like it had a really big impact on it?
Yes and no. I think it helps sometimes, but I also think it makes it worse. I
Really?
think Instagram can make you fall into that trap where you compare yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, I have fallen into that trap many times where I'll see a girl on Instagram and I'm just like, wow, I don't look like that. Like I'm not that pretty, or my skin's not that flawless, or my abs aren't perfect, or I have cellulite and she doesn't,
But what about when people are commenting and they're saying all that stuff?
When people are saying nice stuff, of course it makes me feel good. It's a natural feeling to want to be wanted, or a natural feeling for people to make you feel good. It makes you feel good. But I kind of use that as like, yo, if these people can make me feel good, I can make them feel good. So I kind of like use it. I use it for a positive effect in that way. But and that's why I want my page to be purpose over popularity, because I don't want people to ever feel like how I felt. I've literally felt depressed when I've seen a certain girl, and then I'm just like, oh my God, like I'll put myself down, like, oh, I don't look like this, or my lips are not like that, or I'm not this and I'm not that. And I don't want anyone to ever feel that way,
But does that make you want to immediately just go into the gym?
What do you mean, like those feelings? I'm just like, oh, I gotta go hit the gym, I gotta go do this.
Because I feel like that's a good thing. It's like a good motivation.
It is a good thing, but it's coming from a bad place. So if you can't successfully better yourself out of self-resentment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yes, like I get what you're saying. It does motivate you to want to do more, but that's the difference between being inspired by someone and comparing yourself. I can be inspired by someone's beauty or someone's dedication and say, hey, look, man, we have the same 24 hours in a day. Let me do this. As opposed to, damn, she has abs. Maybe I shouldn't eat this, or maybe I should go to the gym. It's a completely different mindset. And for me, in the gym, if I don't have like that mind and body connection, I don't have a successful workout. When I go to the gym and I just feel pumped, I'm just like, man, I feel good today, I'm gonna hit the gym. That feels better than just like, man, I'm here because
you haven't gone today.
Or man, this girl on Instagram, she has a big butt and she has a small waist and I'm kind of fat. So that's where my focus is. I want people to love themselves. Love yourself, whether you have a belly or back fat or whatever it is, who cares? Because you can work towards those things, but love yourself first, because if not, you're never going to be able to fix those things. You're never going to be able to better. Sorry. You're never gonna be able to better those things if you don't love you. Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. So, now you were saying about bettering yourself, but like when you started on Instagram, were you just how did you like get started?
I mean, I've honestly been doing the same thing that I'm doing now since I started my page. So
Really?
since I've had like 1,000 followers to now, I feel like I've always been doing the same kind of like posts where I have like one post about being a nurse, one post about the gym, one post about, like just, creative stuff. And my captions, I always try to put like a positive message, a positive caption. If you notice, I never reply to anyone that says anything bad because I don't
Feed into negativity.
I don't feed into negativity. I never comment anything bad on anyone else's page because I don't believe in that. I was brought up, if you don't got nothing nice to say, you don't say it.
Yeah.
So I'm very big on that.
But when did you see? Oh, you're gonna say cause what?
No. I was just saying because people are very mean on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
People are very mean, and I don't believe in being mean even when I can't physically see you.
No, yeah. When did you start seeing everything moving? Like when did you start seeing that you were getting more attention and like your followers started going up?
Probably the beginning of this year. I think I had like maybe 9,000 followers, and that was the most I had ever gotten. But it all started with the hurricane last year. The hurricane last year, I worked like 90 hours.
Really?
Yeah, nonstop. I think we got like an hour, 2 hours.
You had to sleep in the hospital.
So it sucks because you're away from your family, and things are happening, and you're here caring for other people. So I put up a post about nurses and doctors, everyone that was in the hospital working, and I just said like how much I appreciate all these people that are away from their families, and it's easy to forget that there are good people in this world. There are good people. People are so quick like, oh, people suck, blah blah blah. But no, there's good people. So, and if you can't find those people, be that person. So I love the fact that we were able to care for other people's families when we can't be there for our own. And that post, literally, I think I went from like 3,000 to like 6,000 followers.
Really?
Yeah, because a bunch of pages just started reposting it a lot. There's so many medical and like healthcare professional pages that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, I didn't know that there were any.
There's tons, and they're big. Like they have tons of following. I'm just like, okay,
Really?
I like that everyone kind of like gets together. Everyone's like so positive and supportive.
Because when I saw your page, yours was like one of the first like medical pages I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There was tons before me. I wish I could take credit, but no. And a bunch of pages just started reposting me. Babes and Scrubs, you my girl. She was the first page that ever reposted me. And from her page,
I think I've seen that on Twitter.
Yeah,
Nice.
she's so dope. The girl that runs the page is amazing. She's a sweetheart. But that page is like all about positive and being mentally attractive, and all of that. And I love it because she posts like doctors, she posts nurses, dentists, firefighters, you name it. Anyone that works in healthcare, she reposts them. And then other pages just started posting me, and then I started getting contacted by other nurses across the country. And it's so dope. Honestly, I've met so many cool down-to-earth people. I went to California a few months ago. I work with a scrub company. They're pretty awesome, and I went to an event that they hosted over there, and I met a bunch of nurses in LA that everyone out there is a hustler too, man. They all
Really?
have a second grind, and I love it because I love that. That's what I'm constantly doing. You can't just have one hustle. That doesn't exist. Not in 2018 at least.
So, when you were in LA, did you think of like going to any auditions or anything?
No, I was there to work. I was doing like nursing events, so that was the last thing on my mind. I just wanted to network and meet people, kind of pick their brains. Like, I mean, these people they're all so smart, and they're all working so hard that it was like, it kind of like made me feel like, you need to be doing more. You could do more,
How do you feel about, like people that they don't really want to go to school? They don't think school is important. They think that not getting like a 9-to-5 job, like working in a hospital, is good. So they decide to go do like a more creative route, but it's not necessarily like as good money, but it's like what they want to do.
I say if it makes you happy, do it. At the end of the day, working a 9-to-5 or working in the hospital, if you are not happy doing it, you're going to be miserable. And I'm sorry, but there's no amount of money that is worth that to me. So when people ask me, I don't work a 9-to-5. I work like 4 to 5 12-hour shifts.
You work all day.
But again, it's the whole, I come in, I clock out. If you have a talent and you're passionate about whatever it is that you're doing, do it, pursue it. So if you want to be an artist, you'll be an artist. Don't listen I don't believe that you need to work a normal job. No, I'm sorry, but that's why look at these people that are football players, people that are singers, people that are actors. They want that extra mile to pursue what it is that they really wanted to do. So I think if you want to do a creative route and you have the passion for it and the dedication, not only that, but the willingness to know that you might go through rough times, go for it. Do it. If that's what sets your soul on fire, do it.
Oh, yeah. What's something that you like to learn, or are you still learning after school?
Oh, all the time. So being a nurse, we have to constantly renew a lot of certifications, our license. So you have to be up to date. Everything in medicine changes all the time. So every year we have to do something called continuing education. So we're constantly learning and learning and learning. And honestly, I think that's one of the things I love the most about it, because thankfully, through technology and through all these advances, that's how we're able to cure and fix things a lot better than we were 20 years ago. So yes, we are constantly learning. Sometimes it's overwhelming because you have to work now. It's not just learning like when you're in school. Now it's like you're working, and you have to find time to do all those things. But I learn something every day because everyone's different. Everyone's body is different. We all metabolize things different. And so whereas I can have 2 surgeries that are exactly the same, I can have 2 different patients that react completely different to it.
Yeah.
So you learn constantly. It's like never ending learning.
But is there something that in specific that you actively
want to learn?
Yeah, you go out to learn it, or you just go the extra mile to learn it? Or just something you like to study on the daily?
Not necessarily in healthcare related. I've just been reading kind of self-help books and just how to speak. I was not mindful of how I spoke until I did that podcast recently. And even for this one, I'm just man.
How did you reflect?
No, I was just man, I sound like I'm from Miami. And I noticed I say like a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people, when I started this, a lot of people hated that.
I hate it too. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is me.
Yes.
I can only be 100% Crystal. So I don't speak perfect. I don't have the smoothest words, but I try.
You get your message across.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. As long as I get my message across, I'm conveying my point, then it is what it is.
Yeah. What was the craziest story that you have that happened in the hospital?
I actually took care of a patient that got bit by a shark.
Really?
Yeah, half her body was gone.
For down to her legs, or?
I can't go specific, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. She had to have several surgeries and everything. It was pretty nuts. And I had a guy that had
She still lives?
Yeah, she lived.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
She lived. Yeah.
No, I'm kind of scared to go in the water because I always thought that was a myth, that people get bitten by sharks.
Oh no, she definitely got bit by a shark. I've had tons of sad stories. We get a lot of car accidents. We get a lot of gunshots, stabbings. So we see crazy all the time. But that one was pretty cool. We can't really talk about patient stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I can only give you vague.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to get fired.
The Hippocratic Oath, right?
It's HIPAA. It's basically protecting patient privacy and things like that. So.
Nah, yeah. So let's say medical technology gets so crazy advanced that people stop getting diseases altogether, right? Do you feel people should, get diseases and die? Or, I don't know if I'm phrasing this right, but do you feel how do you feel if the...
No, I get where you're coming from.
You see what I'm saying?
In a perfect world, if that happens, I would be extremely happy. I don't care if I wouldn't have a job because I would want people to be healthy. But realistically speaking, people know right and wrong, and they still choose to do wrong. I know eating a hamburger every day of my life is not good, but sometimes guess what? Do I eat a hamburger? Yes, I do. People know that drinking and smoking is not good for you. People still drink and smoke. People know that doing drugs is not good for you. People still do drugs. So do I think technology is going to be that advanced to where if people still did all these bad things that they wouldn't be sick? No. I don't think technology is ever going to get, I mean, if it does, not at least in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think people that, you know, drink every single day or smoke every single day and then end up getting, you know, lung cancer or liver cirrhosis.
Because I know like nowadays you can actually like have designer babies that you can like get rid of diabetes and like different like things from their genetics.
That's beforehand, and that's extremely expensive, and that's like stem cell research and all. That's a whole different aspect. But you're talking like, let's just say, medicine advances so much to where it can stop liver cirrhosis and diabetes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I haven't done research on that, but I don't think in my lifetime that's ever gonna happen. And again, like I tell you, like people know right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? People know what they should and shouldn't do. People know what they should and shouldn't eat. People still choose to do it. You know?
Yeah.
Even patients that that we get that have had I don't know how many open heart surgeries, they still eat fried food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
what do you think it takes to get someone to like actually change their habits and like to get into, you know, what they need, what they know is right?
I can't even say that being sick or even death can do that. I think it just has to be a complete change. That person wants to do it. Has to be something. I don't think people can tell them to do it. So I don't like to nag people about smoking or anything like that, even though I don't like it. Like my mom smokes and I hate it because I love her so much. Like I love her life that I don't want her to smoke, you know?
Yeah, you don't want that to take her from
But I'm not gonna nag her about it every day because at the end of the day, she's gonna do it when she wants to do it. When it comes from her to want to stop smoking, she will. So I think, I mean, obviously there are tons of people that when they have a big medical scare, that changes them, but that's not everyone's case.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, my dad being sick was enough for me to decide I don't want to smoke. I don't want to do drugs. You know, I want to eat healthy. That was enough for me, but not everyone has that mindset. So I honestly can't say. For me, my dad passing away, that to me was enough for me to know that I do not want to get sick.
It's just about like the person, just like you said, everyone's different. So
everyone's different, you know. So me seeing my dad be sick, as my dad died when he was 35. He was 35. I'm almost 30. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't feel like I've lived my life yet. There's so much more I want to do.
That's crazy. I was listening to a podcast like right before I got here, and then they were talking about, I forgot who it was, but his mom died when she was 55 and he was 35, and he's like, wow, so I only have 20 more years left in this world. So it's like he's like going off of what, like when his mom passed away, that's what he's going off for the rest of his life. Yeah,
no, see that's scary to me. I wouldn't want to think that. I only have 6 years then. No. But no, before my dad died, he spoke to me, you know, and me and my dad were really close, and I was in high school, and he told me, because my dad did drugs too, and it sucked because I didn't find out until a few months before he died, and I started crying, of course, because you never want to know people you love do bad things. You know, you want to believe the best of everything that they are, you know?
Yeah.
And when we found out, he came and he spoke to me because I started crying. My mom started crying too because my mom didn't know either. And he came and he spoke to me and he said, you're going to grow up and you're going to do whatever it is you want to do. You know, I'm not going to stop you. I want you to live your life. But I do want to show you that because I chose to do stupid things, like because I chose to make wrong decisions, I will never see you get married. I will never see you graduate high school. I'll never walk you down the aisle. I'll never have grandkids. And I'm saying when he said that, like I started crying, like bawling. And he started crying because it's true. That's it. Like he could not fully experience all the things that we were going to go through with us anymore because, you know, of his decisions. And don't get me wrong, there are people that smoke their whole life and never get lung cancer. But that's not the case for everyone. You know what I mean? So that's why if it's a factor that can contribute to me being sick, I don't want to do it. So that's why I don't do drugs. I drink occasionally, but I don't drink often. I don't, you know what I mean? So everything in moderation. So
what was like the most important like lesson that your parents instilled into you? Or like the most important thing that you took from them?
Man, I don't know. There's so many. Maybe the biggest one can be help people even when they don't ask for it. That's one of the biggest things I probably took from my parents. My parents would help other family members before they asked for it, because it's like one of those things where like they kind of knew they were struggling. So my dad would go out his way and buy groceries for my cousins or for my aunts or for my uncles, because he knew that they were going through some hardships. That, and just appreciating things to the fullest, because you never know when you can lose everything. So like my parents were, they were super hardworking, and we didn't have much growing up. So I think just how they were with us, we valued things, and they taught us to value things. We did our chores, we got $1 at the end of the week, and you valued that dollar. We didn't just spend it, because we knew we had to work hard for that dollar. So I think that's probably like the two most important things that they instilled in me. But the list can go on, because my parents were amazing.
Yeah, that's good. So how do you like your coffee?
I like colada. It's my favorite. Black with sugar.
Is that like one of the highlights of your day when you see like,
oh my
when
God,
you get that?
It's an understatement how much I love coffee. It's an understatement. I can't even express it in words how much I love coffee.
Really?
When I smell it, I'm just like, I could be sleeping and I'm just like,
you just know it's there. It's just like what breaks you up. You don't even have to drink it.
Today at work, it's funny because I'm pretty hyper, even on a regular. Even if I haven't had coffee, I'm just very like upbeat all the time. And today I'm sick and I'm sleepy. And all day everyone's like, Crystal, what's wrong? Like, you're not your normal self. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sick. A guy comes and he's like, Crystal, and he brings like this big colada and he's like, I got you, girl. I was like, oh my God, thank you.
It's like, you didn't even feel sick anymore. You didn't even feel sick anymore.
I didn't feel sick no more. Everybody's like, oh, there she goes. It was so funny. But yeah, obviously, like, I love really sweet coffee too. Like, I love like Starbucks, like frappuccinos and all that. But you can't be drinking those every day, 500 calories in one drink is a no-go.
So you just like they just bring it around at work, or you just like go to Dunkin' Donuts and?
In the morning, I sleepwalk into my kitchen. And it's like a routine. Like I wake up and I come to the kitchen, I get the pot and I put it, it's kind of like I'm still half asleep, but I already know where everything is and I have it already set up. So I put it on the stove to cook. When I go to the bathroom, I do my morning business and then I come out and my coffee's ready. So then I drink my coffee in the morning. I have to have coffee in the morning.
Do you ever dream about it? Dream about coffee?
No. If I do, I don't remember. Sometimes I do, I guess. And then midday at work, we have like little coffee carts. So I'll go to the coffee cart after lunch. And then I try not to have any more, because then if not, my hands will be like...
No, yeah, of course.
I go to Dunkin' Donuts here and there, Starbucks here and there, but I don't go to those places that much. I try to make my own coffee, and then we buy... There's like a Cuban coffee in my job, so... I go there.
It's really helpful.
It's cheaper too.
So what would be your advice to like anyone starting out with either Instagram or nursing school, still in it, struggling, like, just anyone that wants to start something? Like
in general?
Yeah. Or like, like through what you went through, like all the stuff that you do.
Be persistent. Be persistent. Even when you feel like things are rough or when you feel overwhelmed, be persistent. You don't appreciate your accomplishments unless you struggle. I think so much of why I love my job and why I appreciate all the people that follow me on Instagram is because I came from nothing. When I was in school, I had to pay for all my books. I had to work full time. I worked full time in nursing school, and I tell people this all the time. If you live your life with excuses, you're not gonna get far. So if you're trying to start something, put in the work. Put in the work. It's gonna be tough sometimes. You might struggle. You might fail.
Wait, sorry.
Get back up.
Can you like plug this in?
Sure. Where am I plugging in? Here?
Yeah, right there. This is what it does.
Oh, okay.
I don't want that while you're in the middle of... Say your advice. Yeah.
So
you're saying being persistent and when you're in.
be persistent, and you might fail, and that's the thing. You have to go in mind knowing that things are not gonna always work out how you planned, and that's okay. But if you really want whatever it is that you're going after, whether it's to become a nurse or whether it's if you want to be like an Instagram influencer or whatever it is, put in the work. You're not gonna get far just wanting things and just expecting things. No, you have to work hard for it. So I think the biggest advice I can give you is just to be persistent. Be persistent even when you fail. Be thankful and be grateful when you fail, and get back up and try again.
That's great. A lot of people say just to be yourself, but I like that advice.
I mean, of course, be you too, be yourself too. I mean, but then again, that's when you're going more
because
towards
I don't
the
like
Instagram
when
route.
people say that.
I just feel like that's too vague.
Yeah.
That's be you. I mean, yeah, be you. Of course, that to me that's a given. If you're not you, it's gonna be very hard to try to keep up with an act if it's not you.
Yeah.
So.
But persistence, like you gotta stay persistent.
You gotta stay persistent. When I first applied for nursing school, thank God I've always had really good grades, so I got in right away. But I mean, I struggled in the sense when it came to like studying and being on top of chapters, like it wasn't just like I read every day perfect and I was super, no, it was hard. It was hard. I was always tired. So you gotta keep working. That's it. I didn't sleep. So that was sacrifice on my end. And then when I graduated, when I finally passed my board, it took me months to find a job. I would spend hours applying online, hours. And at first I felt discouraged, but guess what? The next day I got up and I spent hours applying again. So
you just kept going.
You got to keep doing it. I went to a job fair and I remember I got interviewed and I could tell that they liked me, but I kept calling the manager. I'm like, hey, any status update? And she probably hated me for a little bit and she probably was annoyed at me. But one day she was like, no, come in. And I got hired.
If you keep knocking, someone's going to open the door.
Someone eventually will open, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
I was going to ask this before, because this is like the getting to the end of the interview. But like, how was it like dating and going to school and, being a nurse and everything that you do? Like, how do you balance that? It's
a little hard. In school, it was definitely hard. Now, I mean, I'm not really dating right now. I'm single. Anyone want to marry me? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm single right now, so right now I'm just focusing on me. But when I did date, it's just, again, you gotta find balance. You when you have priorities, you make time for who you want to make time for. It sucks because I'd be gone all day, so I come home tired. But then on my days that I'm off, you try to make the best of it. So I don't necessarily have quantity when it comes to time, but quality.
Yeah.
So if I'm with you, I want to maximize my time with you. If I'm dating you, or if I'm trying to spend time with my family, I'm gonna try not to be on my phone. I want to focus. I want to be with you. So yes, we don't have the most time, and I don't have the most time in the world. If I give you time, it feels special because I do not have time, and that's just what it is. And I tell people all the time, the person is making excuses, then you're not a priority. So when I did have a boyfriend, and I had a boyfriend until last year, I spent as much time with him as I could when I was off, and I balanced that with the gym, my family, and work, and it was completely possible. I like to use a planner. I know it's very old school. I guess people now like their phone and apps.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you use it on your phone. Like you did.
I have an app on my phone, but there's nothing to me like an old school planner where I put like little tabs and I have things highlighted.
Yeah.
So
you keep it on you?
It's in my car. That's like my car is my second home. So I use that. And find what works for you to be organized, but managing your time is probably the hardest thing that I've had to do. It is so hard for me to manage my time. So that's something I'm working on. I don't have it all together. I try. I'm working at it really hard. But just being organized. I think being organized helps manage your time and you can balance things better. But again, I'm not the most organized person either. And that's just me being honest. I'm still working at trying to find a balance. Sometimes I get so overwhelmed with my phone. I have to turn off notifications. I have to put it on Do Not Disturb, and I have to put it in my room, because if not, I get stressed, because I'm like, man, I have like 5,000 DMs that I haven't answered. I'm like, oh my God, but
you get like overwhelmed by it.
I get overwhelmed because I want to answer back to people, but at the same time, I want to live my life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I remember one day I spent like 5 hours on my phone answering like, I think I answered like 200 DMs, and I still had, I'm like, God, you know what? I did my best today. I'll put my phone away.
Goodness.
Because if not, you're like this, you know?
And then the time just like flies by.
You
don't even know where it goes.
The time flies. So, the biggest thing I tell people, like when they're studying, set a realistic study time. So if you know you're not going to be studying for no 7 hours, tell yourself, I'm going to study hardcore for 2 hours. But in those 2 hours, put your phone away. Bye-bye boyfriend, bye-bye girlfriend, bye-bye family.
No
you
TV.
Need to go. No
computer.
TV. Go somewhere where you're going to focus. I never studied at home. Ever. Because I knew I was not going to study. If I'm at home, I'm going to do laundry. I'm going to look at my fridge. I'm going to get on my phone. I'm going to watch TV.
You might just sleep.
So I would go to university, study in the library, put my phone in my book bag, and 2 hours, crystal, nonstop. So that's why I tell people, be realistic about it. I know I when we used to do those all-day study days, I would sit.
Oh my goodness.
Phone. You know, so I tell people, like, don't go somewhere and try to think you're going to study for 12 hours straight. That's not realistic. It's not. I mean, unless you have way stronger willpower than I did, that's not realistic to me. So
you just gotta cut it up.
Yeah, I tell people, set a realistic goal, because then when you can accomplish that goal, you're more motivated to set a higher goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your small victories lead you to bigger goals, because if you can accomplish them, if I tell myself I'm gonna study for 12 hours today and then I don't, I'm setting myself up for failure. And then you discourage yourself, and then you study less. Because
then that makes you think, damn, if I'm gonna study, it's gonna be 12 whole hours. So it's like you can't do anything.
Yeah, not only that, but when you don't accomplish things, it discourages you from wanting to do more. And I tell that to people with everything. When it comes to the gym, set a realistic goal. If you know that you cannot go to the gym every day, say, hey, you know what, this week I'm gonna go to the gym 2 times a week, or I'm gonna go to the gym 2 times. That's my goal. When you accomplish that, you feel good about yourself. You're like, man, I did this. So those small little baby steps that you accomplish, those small victories, they lead to bigger victories, because in turn, you're making yourself feel good about it. So like for me, I tell myself every week, Crystal, you gotta hit the gym 4 times a week. That's my goal every week. If I can do that, I feel accomplished for that week. If I can answer emails, if I can, the things that pertain to me, spend time with my family, answer emails, go to the gym, do something creative that week. Those are my goals throughout the week. Inspire somebody, I check that off. Boom, 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 boom. Now the next week, I'm like, yo, I gotta go harder. I gotta do more. And that motivates me. Because
you're able to just like get rid of those other tiers. You already got over that. So it's like, just like,
now it's like
you're over the hump. So it's
you gotta level up.
Yeah,
you gotta level up. So, but if you feel good about it, if you're pushing yourself in the right way, and that's why I tell you, like, you bettering yourself has to come from self-love. It can't come from comparing yourself and self-hate and self-resentment, because you're not going to be successful that way. So you gotta set small goals so that when you accomplish them, it pushes you to set a higher goal, and you're going to be more motivated to accomplish that goal. At least that's what works for me. I'm not saying everyone is like this. This is what has worked for me in this past year.
I heard that's called SMART goals.
Yeah. And honestly, I used to never believe in things like that. I used to never believe in affirmations. I do my affirmations every day. Before I get on my phone, which is another thing, I wake up, I read my Bible verse a day because it makes me feel good. I feel accomplished when I do that because, I love God. So I try to do my verse a day, a devotional if I'm doing one at the time, and then my affirmations. And do things that pertain to you. Everyone's different, and everyone has different struggles, and everyone has different complexes. So like for me, I'll sit there, I'll talk to myself like, yo, you're this, you're that, or, you can do this, you can do that, you're bigger than this, and that makes me, it just sets the tone for my day, and in a positive way. It helps me feel better about myself, and it helps me get through my day better. Like I just feel like, okay, I start my day off good, the rest of my day should go good. I'm gonna do this.
Because like how you feel in the morning is just gonna like set the tone for the rest of the day.
So if you wake up and you do things like that, and again, people, you gotta find what works for you. What I do doesn't necessarily cater to everyone, but this is what has worked for me. So when I do that, I just feel like my day is gonna go good. My day is more productive, and that is a big thing for me. I like to be productive.
For me, I feel like if I don't brush my teeth in the morning, then like something bad's gonna happen like for the rest of the day.
But why would you not brush your teeth in the morning?
No, I know, but that's like, because for me,
I mean, that's a given. But I do that too.
No, but I feel like legit, like if I don't brush my teeth, I'll get into like an accident or something like that, you know. So it's like,
God.
that's all I
see. That makes me think of like my mom when she like. This is kind of like TMI, but my mom would always tell me like, never have ugly draws. Really? You can't have ugly draws. She's like, that one day you're wearing those ugly draws, you're gonna get in a car accident, people can see those ugly draws.
Oh my god, she's like taking it. I mean, what's ugly draws? Just
like you know, girls, we got those, you know, time of the month panties. My mom would always tell me, don't have those. Those should not exist in your drawer.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of TMI, but it's a woman thing.
Do you have anyone you want to shout out?
In what sense?
Like shout out, you know. I mean, you already shout out a whole bunch of people, but
yeah. I mean, I have an amazing group of friends. The dolls, y'all know who you are. Y'all the real MVP. Those are my best friends, and honestly, I love these girls. If it wasn't for them, I've been through some hard times, and they have been there for me. I mean, but I said, to think of all the people, I have so many people in my life that have just been amazing, supportive, my backbones, that I have too many people to shout out. So, y'all know who you are. I love y'all.
For sure. And where can they find you at?
The only handle I have is Instagram, unfortunately. I don't have Facebook or Twitter. So holla at your girl, Crysmarie, _, I think. I don't know. I just changed it.
Hey. What do you plan on doing in the future? Like, where do you see everything going? Like, where do you want to take it?
I'm going to go back to school. I mean, I want to keep pushing Instagram only because I enjoy it so much and I love being able to help people. But obviously, you always have to have a plan B. So if Instagram doesn't work out some way, if I don't, I don't know. I want to be able to speak at conferences. I want to be able to, do events where I'm, just helping people. But if not, I'm going to do that anyways. But I do want to go back to school. It took me a while to decide what I wanted to go back to school for. I didn't know if I wanted to do nurse practitioner, if I wanted to do anesthesia. I think I'm going to go through the route of anesthesia just because.
It's not that great because like anesthesiologists get sued a lot.
Well, but I'll still be a nurse, so we still work under them. Technically, they would still probably get sued, but I don't know if we get sued. I mean, I'm sure we do, but we're like under them, so it's kind of like.
I think it's pretty crazy too because I know a lot of people that did do anesthesiology, but then they like dropped out of it because it's like.
It's really hard.
Yeah, and it's like not everyone takes the same amount of anesthesia.
Yeah, it's hard. Because everyone's body metabolizes medicine differently. So you can give 200 of this to this person, and then you give 50 of this one to this person. It does the same effect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be hard, but I don't care. I like a challenge. I like a challenge.
That's a good attitude. Loving a challenge. So this has been 6 Feet with one and only Crysmarie. Crysmarie.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm such a dork.